Okay, so let's start. So a lot of people have asked me in comments about question numbers 81 to 100 of index numbers additional question bank. So finally we are doing it. I was a bit busy in some other work, that's why I could not do it. So as usual, before we start, some rules. First, the lecture will entirely be in simple English, so language should not be an issue. Second, we are going to solve questions 81 to 100 in a way that it helps us from exam point of view. Okay, we have to try to solve them in the fastest possible way. So we are not going to go into concepts right now. For concepts, the entire regular batch and revision batches are available on the channel. You can go through those. But right now we are not going to go deep into concepts. We are right now focusing on exam. Okay, fine. Next is, ideally you should solve these first by yourself and then come to this. Otherwise this is of no use. Okay, so let's start. So 81 to 100. Get your calculators ready. There might be some disturbances within the lecture. I'll pause the video accordingly. Yeah. 81. From the following data, calculate Marshall-Edgeworth's index number. Okay. Now we know that in Marshall-Edgeworth's index number, Q0 plus Q1 is the weight, right? Fine. So let's name this first. Base year, so P0 and Q0. Current year, so P1 and Q1. So what we need is, the formula is going to be what? Summation P1 into Q0 plus Q1 upon summation P0 into Q0 plus Q1, right? So let's take totals accordingly. We can do it on calculator, no need of writing down anything. Numerator is Q0 plus Q1 into P1. That means we have to do Q0 plus Q1 into P1. So 17 plus 25 into 13, M plus 23 plus 25 into 7, M plus 14 plus 15 into 13, M plus. Similarly 10 plus 8 into 8, 10 plus 8 into 8, M plus. If you press MRC, we get 1403 as the numerator. Let's see what is the denominator. Denominator is what? Q0 plus Q1 into P0. That means 17 plus 25 into this 7. So let's do it accordingly. 17 plus 25 into 7, M plus. 23 plus 25 into 6, M plus. 14 plus 15 into 11, M plus. 10 plus 8 into 4, M plus. If you press MRC, you get 973. So we just have to do 1403 upon 973. In percentage terms, it is 144.19. Option B is the correct answer for question number 81. Next, 82. The circular test is an extension of. Now understand, circular test is nothing but change of base. Time reversal test deals with only 2 units, like for example from 01 to 10. That is year 1 on base 0 to year 0 on base 1, reciprocal. Whereas circular test deals with conversion from 01 to let's say 12 to let's say 20. Okay. So if you want more details about this, you can watch the detailed lectures. But understand that for now, from exam point of view, just understand that time reversal is for 2 time periods. Circular test is for multiple time periods. They are the same. There is no difference between them as such. So circular test for 2 time periods will be time reversal test. That's it. Next, circular test, an index constructed for year X on base year Y and for year Y on base year Z should yield the same result as index constructed for Z on X on base year Z. That is I01 into I12 into I20 is equal to, that is what I just wrote. See, 01, 12, 20. Product of them should be equal to 1. That is what circular test says. Now understand, time reversal test is just short version of this. Time reversal test says what? I01 into I10 should be 1. Circular test goes beyond that and it is applicable to 3 or more periods. Fine. Let's go ahead. 84. In 1976, the average price of a commodity was 20% more than in 1975, but 20% less than in 1974. Now this is similar question which was up there in some previous question. Let's directly try to present it. We have data from, okay, now first of all there is an issue here. 1976, 75, 4, 7. There are multiple years, but they have not given the data correctly, but fine, let's try to find the answer still. Forget about the options. In 1970, let's 74, 75, 76, 77. We have to take base year as 1975. They have given as 100 in last line. So let's take this as 100. Now they are saying in 1976 the average price was 20% more than 1975, that means 120, right? But 20% less than 1974. Now understand carefully. But 20% less than 1974. That means if 1974 was 100, then this is 80, because 20% less. So we have to cross multiply and find how much this is. So we can just make a simple ratio. Question mark is to 120 is equal to 100 is to 80. So just cross multiply and find it out. So 100 by 80 into 120, that is 150, right? Next is, just a second. Which one was it? 84, correct. So, and moreover, it means this, it was 50% more than that in 1977. That means 1977, if it was 100, then this is 150, because it is 50% more. So again, let's cross multiply. 120 upon question mark is equal to 150 upon 100. So let's find what is that question mark. 120 into 100 by 150, which is going to be 80. So this is 80. So that is our answer. 150, 100, 120, 80. That I don't think it is in the options. Maybe 150 and 80 is the answer. I don't know. So forget about the options. You know the answer. 85, time reversal test, symbolically we just saw it as B. Next, 86. 86 is the prices of commodity in 1975 and 80 were 25 and 30 respectively. Then taking 1975 as base year, price relative is, okay, so 30 by 25, right? So 30 by 25 is 120%. Option A is the correct answer for 86. Next, 87. From the following data for the years 93 to 97, the construction of chain index is, they have given link index, we have to find chain index. Now concentrate carefully for this, how to construct chain index from link index. Link index is what? When we have taken previous year figure as base. Link index is when we have taken previous year as the base. Whereas chain index means, chain means fixed, chained base, that is fixed base. So this we have to make it as base, and everything else we have to adjust accordingly. So let's try to do that. Now you don't need to remember any formula as such for this. Understand, you can go by formula, but go by logic or ratio. That is the best way. Okay, focus. First of all, this is the link index. That means we have taken previous year as the base. Let me show you in tabular form, which will be easier to understand. So we have 92, 93, 94, 95 something. Okay. They have given us link relative. Link relatives are what? 100, 103, 105. Okay, 1 year is not there. Okay, 1994 is not there. Fine. 100, 103, 105, 112, 108. Forget about 94. Now understand, when we are constructing chain relative, chain, that means this we have to make as base year and keep it as 100. Now understand how link relative is calculated. Understand how link relative is calculated. This is 103. This 103 means that when previous year is 100, then this is 103. Now if this is 100, then this is how much? So obviously that is going to be a simple ratio, and it is going to be 103 only, because 100 by 103 is equal to 100 by question mark. So obviously that is going to be 103. So let me write 103. Next is again important, concentrate. Link relative 105 means what? If previous year is 100, then this is 105. Now previous year is 103, so this is how much? Okay, understand. If previous year is 100, then this is 105. Now we know that previous year is 103, so then this is how much? Again a simple ratio. 100 by 105 is equal to 103 by how much? Let's solve that. So it is going to be 103 into 105 by 100, which is 108.15. So let me write it. Next, again think in the same way. This is 112, but when previous year is 100, then it is 112. When previous year is 100, then it is 112. Now previous year is 108.15, then it is how much? Again similar, 100 by 112 is equal to 108.15 by how much? So let's solve that. 108.15 into 112 by 100. So that is going to be 121.128. Okay. Again last same. This is 108. When is it 108? When this is 100, then it is 108. Let me draw some different figure. This. So then for 121 it is how much? So again in the similar way, let's do it. 121.128 into 108 by 100. So it is going to be 130 point something. Sorry. So these are the chain relatives. 100, 103. Let me mark. 100, 103, 108.15, 121.128 and 130.818. So that is going to be option what? B, if you see. 121 and 130. Correct. They are not given first years. So B is the correct answer for this question number 87. This is a good question. Understand the ratio properly, then you don't need to remember any formula for this chapter except for Laspeyre, Paasche, that is weighted methods. Okay. Next, during a certain period, the cost of living index number goes up from 110 to 200 and the salary of a worker is also raised from 330 to 500. Okay. The worker does not really gain. Then the real wages decreased by. Now understand, earlier salary was 330, right? So how much it should be? How much it should be right now? Let's cross multiply. How much it should be? 330 into 200 by 110. That is, it should be 600. It should be 600, but it is actually 500. That means the worker does not really gain. He is actually losing out by 100 rupees. Got it? Next. 89. Net monthly salary of an employee was 3000 in 1980. The consumer price index number in 1985 is 250 with 1980 as base year. Fine. So 1980 in base year, when index number was 100, his salary was 3000. Now index number is 250. If he has to be rightly compensated, then 7th dearness allowance should be what? First let's calculate what is this figure. So it should be 3000 into 250 by 100, 7500 rupees. That means his salary should be 7500 rupees so that he is rightly compensated. Now understand, dearness allowance is not entire salary. Dearness allowance is the excess amount that is paid over and above the basic salary to deal with inflation. You know this from, you might know this in CA Inter in tax subject. But right now just remember, dearness allowance is the extra salary paid for compensating for inflation. So 4500 is the extra salary. Option C is the correct answer for question 89. Next is 90. Net monthly income of an employee was 800 in 1980. Consumer price index number was 160. So this index number was 160. His salary was 800. Now index number is 200. If he has to be rightly compensated, same question. So how much? Let's calculate 800 into 200 by 160. That is 1000 rupees. So how much extra should be paid to him? 200 is the correct answer. So that is not in the options. So none of these would be the correct answer. 200 rupees. 91 is a really good question. You can mark it. Okay. Understand the question. When the cost of tobacco was increased by 50%, a certain hardened smoker who maintained his formal scale of consumption said that the rise had increased his cost of living by 5%. Before the change in price, percentage of his cost of living which was due to buying tobacco is how much? Now understand the concept first, what they are asking. Now, many students don't understand what they are asking. That is why such kind of questions feel difficult. So understand carefully. Imagine that now that person's cost of living includes tobacco also. That means he needs tobacco to live. Let's say, for example, in the question. Now suppose imagine that the person has only one need in the entire world. Imagine that he only consumes tobacco, nothing else, no wheat, no rice, no food, no rent, no electricity, nothing. Let's assume that the person only consumes tobacco, that is his only cost of living, entire cost of living. In that case, what will happen? Understand, in that case, if cost of tobacco increases by 50%, then his cost of living will also increase by 50%. Why? Because tobacco is his living, right? But that is not the case. What has happened is, when tobacco increased by 50%, his cost of living only increased by 5%. That means tobacco is just part of his cost of living. Okay, tobacco is just a little bit small part of his cost of living. Let's say his cost of living, okay, is rupees 100 initially. And let's say out of that 100, X rupees is due to tobacco, Y rupees is due to other products. Other products means food items, wheat, rice, housing, rent, electricity, water and everything, transportation. So let's say y is his other, you know, other cost of living. That means we know that x plus y is 100. Now what happened? His tobacco cost increased by 50%. That means x now became 1.5x, right? 50%, it was 1x earlier, now it became 1.5x, 50% more. But y remained same because no other cost was changed. But because of this, what happened is his total cost of living only increased by 5%. 5% is what? 105. So can we just solve these equations? Maybe. Let's try. Let's subtract this from this. So 1.5x minus x is 0.5x plus y will be cancelled is equal to 5. That means x is what? 5 by 0.5, which is 10. That means x is 10 rupees. Y is 90 rupees. That means his tobacco consumption earlier was 10% of total cost of living. Okay, fine. So understand, this was a good question, a different one. And they have said that his consumption is same. If his consumption also changes, then then the question will become more complicated. Okay, fine. Next, 92. If the price index for the year 1960 be 110.3 and the price index for the year say 1950 be 98.4. Okay, so earlier it was 98.4, now it is 110.3. now then they are asking, then what is then the purchasing power of money rupees of 1950 in 1960 is. The purchasing power of money of 1950 in 1960 is. Now understand very carefully. The question does not ask 1960 in 1950. The question asks opposite. They are asking what is purchasing power of money of 1950 in 1960. That means they are asking this as base year. Understand? 1960 is the base and 1950 they are assuming to be current year. Okay, fine. So let's see how this works. Now first of all, you need to understand that purchasing power of money is reciprocal of price index number. Purchasing power of money is reciprocal of price index number. I have explained this with example in one of the previous videos of additional question bank. So just go through that, you'll understand. Now price index number, we got this upon this. Current year upon base year. Current year is what? 98.4 because this is current. And base year is 1960 which is 103.4. So it is going to be 98.4 upon 110.3. But we need reciprocal of that because purchasing power of money is reciprocal of price index number. So reciprocal is 1.12 which is option A. So option A is the correct answer for question 92. Okay, fine. Okay, again there was some disturbance. I'm sorry, I have to pause the videos in between. I hope it is clear to all. Next is 93. If P0Q0, PNQ0, P0QN and PNQN is given, then what is Laspeyre's index number? Now what is Laspeyre's index number? If you know the formula, the question is like bonus question, right? What is the weight in Laspeyre's index number? That is the base year quantity. That means we just have to do PNQ0 upon P0Q0. So 1900 upon 1360, that is 139.70, or they have not multiplied by 100, so it is going to be option B, which is 1.39. Okay. The consumer price index number for April 85 was 125. The food price index was 120 and other items index was 135. Then the percentage of total weight given to food indexes. Now we can use a shortcut for this, understand. What the question says that food index number, food index number is 120. Okay. And other items index number is 135. And they are saying their weighted average is 125. Okay, and they are asking how much weight is given to food. So fine, their weighted average is 125. We know how to find ratio for weighted average, how to find weights for weighted average. I have put a shortcut video on the channel also for this, you can go through that. So find the difference. 120 and 125 difference is 5. 135 and 125 difference is 10. Just reverse the difference, so it will be 10:5. That is our answer. 10:5 means what? 2:1. So that means weight of food is to others is 2:1. So food is 2/3 and other items are 1/3. So what is weight given to food index? 2/3, which is 66.67%. 2/3 is 66.6666%, right? Next, The total value of retained imports into India in 1960 was 71.5 million per month. Corresponding total for 1967 was something. Index of volume of retained imports in 1967 with 1960 is given. Then price index number is how much? Now understand, this question relates to factor reversal test. Understand carefully. Factor reversal test says what? Price index number into quantity index number is value index number, right? Now they have given us value of imports in 60 and 67. So we can find value index number. How do we find value index number? Current year value upon base year value. So do it on calculator. 87.6 divided by 71.5. That is going to be 122 point, or you can just don't multiply by 100. That is fine. 1.225174 something, right? That is price into quantity index number. We know that quantity index number is 62. So how much is price index number? So we can just divide this number by, don't write 62 now, write 0.62 because we are not multiplying by 100. So divided by 0.62 is 1.976. So that is 197.61. Option B is the correct answer for question 95. This was again a good question. I hope you have understood it. If not, let me know in comments. Okay, so let's go ahead. Question 96. Now 96 is a bit different. It is similar to 88, but they have given different wording. So understand. During the certain period, cost of living index goes up from 110 to 200, and salary of a worker is also raised from 330 to 500. Then they wanted to ask, I think, then the loss in real terms is. Now this kind of question they have not asked in any, this kind of terminology they have not used in any other question. So just understand something. They are not asking how much is he paid less or how much is he paid more. In that case, we just shift 330 to 330 to current year. That's it. But they are asking what is loss in real terms. Real terms is without considering inflation. That is base year. Real terms is base year. Okay, without considering inflation. So let's take everything to base year. Now understand, base year is 100, right? Then we have 110 and 200. When 110 is the CLI, we know that salary is 330. When 200 is the CLI, we know that salary is 500. So let's take both of them to the base year by cross multiplying. So how do we do that? First this ratio, question mark, solve it, and how much is it? Let me check. 330, 300, right? Similarly, let's take that 500 to the base year. Now we have to use this ratio. 100 is to 200. Then question mark is to 500. So let's do that. That is 250, right? So in real terms, wages are 300 and 250. In real terms means considering base year, wages are 300 and 250. That means loss is there of 50 rupees. So option A is the correct. This is a different question. They have not used this kind of terminology anywhere else. And again, it should have been loss in real terms. But fine. Just mark it. 97. They are asking Fisher's quantity index number. Now Fisher's price index number, we know L into P square root. So quantity index number is same, just reverse Q and P. So let me write the formula, then we can directly do it on calculator. So what we'll do is just see, writing this way is always easier to understand. We have to take Q1 in the numerator, right? So that is fine. And one will have P0 as base, one will have P1 as base. That's it, right? So we just have to multiply this and take square root. So let's do it on calculator. First part, Q1 into P0. Q1 into P0, so 6 into 2 m plus, 2 into 5 m plus, 7 into 4 m plus, MRC is 50 by Q0 P0, that is 2 into 2 m plus, 5 into 5 m plus, 7 into 7 m plus, MRC is 78. Then Q1 P1, that is 6 into 18, 2 into 2, 4 into 24, that is 208. And Q0 P1 is 2 into 18, 5 into 2, 7 into 24, that is 214. So 50 by 78 into 208 by 214 equal to square root is 0.7893, which is 78.93. Option D is the correct answer. Okay. 98. From the following data, index number by GM method, geometric mean. Okay. Geometric mean is what? Product and then raised to 1 by n. So for first commodity, we can get price relative like this, current year by base year. So that is the index number of first commodity, right? Second is index number of this commodity B. We have to take the geometric mean, so multiply and square root. There are 2 items, so raised to 1 by 2. Understand, this is like GM of relatives. Just like we have simple average of relatives method, this is like geometric mean of relatives method. So we find price relatives first and then we take the geometric mean. So let's do it on calculator. 55 by 25 into 45 by 30 equal to square root 1.8165, that is option A. Fine. Question 99 is again a normal, Paasche's question. Okay. Now in Paasche's index number, what is the base? Current year quantity, right? So we need P0, P1, Q1. Okay. So formula is what? P1 Q1 upon P0 Q1. So let's try to do it. P1 Q1 is what? 6 into 15 m plus 4 into 20 m plus 10 into 4 m plus. MRC is 210. By P0 Q1 is what? 4 into 15 m plus 6 into 20 m plus 8 into 4 m plus 212. So 210 by 212. So that is going to be option D most likely. 99.056, option D, correct. So for question 99, D is the correct answer. Last 100, group index number is represented by, group index is nothing but weighted average. You know formula of weighted average, summation Wx upon summation W. So X is just the index number, right? So this is summation Wx upon summation W. Option B is the correct answer for 100. Okay, so this way we have completed this question bank. I hope it is clear to everyone. If you have any doubt, let me know. If you want to know more about the concepts, then go to watch the full lectures. Definitely they are available for free. Also, if you want to practice more and more MCQs, then join the Telegram group which is given in the description link. Okay, so I hope this was useful. Let's stop here for today. We'll meet in some next video. Okay, bye everyone.